When it comes to investing, there are some simple rules to be followed that goes a long way in protecting us from making grave mistakes. Hi there, I am Lalita Jayabalan and I help people make the right investment decisions. In today's video blog, we are going to be looking at 3 golden rules of investing that go a long way in helping not only build our wealth but also make sure that we don't make big mistakes. So, let's say you're out on the road. Don't we follow some rules? Why do we follow them? Because they keep us alive. And let's say you're watching a sports. Every single sport that we watch or we play have rules. And why do we have those rules? Just to make the game more enjoyable. Similarly, when it comes to investing, there are certain simple rules that needs to be followed. Why? Just to make us smart investors. Alright, so let's look at the 3 rules. Rule number 1. Which comes first, savings or expenses? So we all get our incomes and we spend because we have bills to pay. So after spending for all the expenses, whatever is left gets saved. While this looks perfectly well, there is a major issue with this approach. If you really look back, every month your savings would have been very volatile. Some months it may be positive, in some months it is negative, and some months it may be zero. So if we are in this kind of volatile situation with respect to savings, how are we going to invest and how are we going to fulfill our long-term goals? So to fix this problem, it is better if we actually set aside a certain percentage of our income as savings and then spend the rest. So make savings your first expense every single month. By doing this, your savings is not only going to be stable, it is also going to grow and multiply for you in the long run. Rule number 2. Are you buying an asset or a liability? How do you know? How will be able to tell? So there is one criteria that we use in finance to put this to test. You are buying things every single day, right? And when we buy things, we all think that, oh, they are all my possessions and so they make for assets. Is that really right? Let's look at, let's say you buy a house. It maybe appreciates, in the next few months or next few years after you buy the house. So anything that appreciates in value after you purchase that is truly an appreciating asset, and so it is an asset. But let's take your laptop or your smartphone or even your car for that matter. What happens to these assets of yours or so-called possessions of yours? What happens is right from the next day or few weeks or after some years after you buy them, they start losing value. In fact, they start losing value right away. So such of those assets that start losing value is after you purchase them, become your depreciating assets. So depreciating assets is really your liability and they are not truly your assets. So the point here is not to say that you should not buy your car or your laptop. They are all very essentials. We must buy them. The only thing we need to be conscious of is the amount of money or the price that we are paying to buy these assets. So if you're going to pay a very high price, it's going to lose its value over time. So we just need to make an informed decision on that. And people who have the habit of taking a loan to fund these purchases have to be even more careful, because you see this is going to be a double whammy for them. They're not only going to lose the value on their purchases day after day, but they also are having to pay a very high interest rate on the borrowed capital to fund these purchases. So when we buy things, we need to keep in mind whether, they will appreciate in value over time or would they depreciate. Rule number 3. Do we understand the difference between simple interest and compound interest? Does that even matter? Why is it important to us? Okay. Simple interest is very simple for everybody to understand, right? You have 10 lakhs, a fixed deposit in the bank, and the bank gives you 6% rate of return. So every year you're going to be getting 60,000 rupees. Very simple. But does the 10 lakh corpus really grow year after year? nothing much happens to it. It does not appreciate in value. It remains as 10 lakhs forever as long as you keep the deposit in the bank. Let's go to compound interest. Let's say, you keep the 10 lakhs in a compound interest instrument. What happens to the compound interest? Even if you get, let's say, 5% interest on the compound interest, the next year it's going to appreciate to 10 lakhs and 50,000. The following year it will become 11 lakhs and so on. So with time, your deposit is going to compound or multiply and build a good amount of wealth for you. So what is important is to be aware of the fact when you make investments, make sure you pick up those products that offer you the power of compounding so that you can build your wealth in the long term. So these are very simple rules, just 3 simple rules. Make sure that savings come first. Be aware that you're buying into appreciating assets, and always, if there is a choice, look for products that offer or operate on the power of compounding. If we follow these 3 simple rules in every major purchases in our life or major investments in our life, they'll definitely help you not only protect your hard-earned money, but also will help you multiply and meet all of your financial goals in life. To get more such videos, please subscribe, and thanks again for watching this video. See you in the next post.